Hi. So for this next go with grammar, we're going to be talking about run-ons. So run-ons, this mistake is something we see very common with middle school students, high school students, heck, even some adults struggle with run-ons. So let's take a look. What is a run-on exactly? So basically, a run-on happens when you take two sentences and they're improperly connected, right? So they are not connected in a grammatically correct way. And that is a run on. And a common misconception, I see kids think that if a sentence is way too long, oh, it must be a run on. But that's not necessarily the case. I mean, if a sentence is punctuated correctly, you can totally have a long sentence. But today we're going to take a look at two questions. So, how do you get a run on? And more importantly, how can you fix that run-on? So those are the two takes we're gonna tackle. So let's take a look at the first one. How do you get a run-on, right? So there's two main reasons why kids create run-ons. Number one, it's a lack of punctuation. They just forget about a period. They forget that they have, multiple sentences, and that's what we see here. The contestant hesitated, the buzzer sounded. So technically, we have two sentences. We have the contestant hesitated, that's a subject verb, simple sentence, connected with the second sentence, the buzzer sounded. But something is missing there. Something needs to be happening right there. This is a run on. The other thing that kids do that they think is correct, which is really, really wrong, it's called a comma splice. So when you have a comma splice, you connect two sentences with just a comma. That is so wrong, guys. Never, never do a comma splice. It's when you just put the comma. That's it. I see this all the time. So look at this example. The judge entered the courtroom, comma, everyone rose. So we have judge entered, that's subject verb. Everyone rose. That's a sentence. But wait, this is not okay. Not okay to just have the comma. Can't just use a comma, guys. That is called a comma splice, and it's very wrong, and never do that. Okay, so those are the two biggies. That's how I see kids create run-ons. Lack of punctuation, or they just put a comma. So let's talk about the second question. The second question was, how can you fix it? How can you fix a run-on? And there's four ways you can fix a run-on. Let's take that last run-on we just saw. Here it is again. The judge entered the courtroom, comma, ooh, cringe. Everyone rose. Can't just use a comma. That's a comma splice. So let's take a look. The first way you could fix it, pretty simple. You could just put a period, right? Create two little sentences. The judge entered the courtroom, period. Obviously, we have to capitalize everyone. Everyone rose. Now we got a period. Everything is looking good. Second one, you can make a compound sentence out of it with a comma fanboy. The judge entered the room, comma, so everyone rose. So that works. I just made a compound sentence. Let's take a look at two more ways you can fix it. So here we have, again, our sentence, our run-on right there. The judge in the courtroom, everyone rose. Number three, you could also create another compound sentence, but this time just with a semicolon. Remember, the semicolon's sole purpose for existence is to connect two simple sentences. That does it. That's perfect. And the last way you could fix a run-on is getting a little fancy with this semicolon by using a semicolon plus a transition word, which is a conjunctive adverb, something like this. The judge entered the courtroom, semicolon, thus, comma, everyone rose. Notice you have to have all three, the semicolon, the transition, and the comma. And, transition words, you've seen them before. Here are some other examples of these conjunctive adverbs, or I call them transition words. We have therefore, however, nevertheless, hence, thus, consequently, accordingly, unfortunately, otherwise, and similarly. So guys, I hope that makes sense. Remember, a lack of punctuation or a comma splice is what causes run-ons. To fix it, put a period. Make it into a compound sentence, or put a semicolon plus transition word. Hope that helps.